So Chiesa versus Condit was this weekend. Last weekend, shall I say. Very good fight, very good fight. Entirely grappling based fight. Entirely grappling based. I mean, we didn't get to see much striking. And the striking that we did see was in Condit's favour, that fight. It was in Condit's favour. He seemed to be letting the punches go early, letting the shots fly. I just spat everywhere. Letting the shots fly, mixing up combos, nice little leg kick at the end of his 1-2s, stuff like that. And it's very apparent that Chiesa needs work on his striking, guys. He has no striking almost. I know that sounds crazy, but he has pretty much no striking as far as I can see. The only striking that he has is to try and set up a takedown. Like he'll throw a shot and then duck under a counter and then go for a takedown. I don't know why. I don't know why I have this. Every time I try and make a video, I start having hiccups. I don't know what it is. Sorry, guys. I'm calm again now. I'm just losing my mind in my room here. Back to the fight. A flow grappling example, like a seminar of grappling. One guy turns out, then a hip escape. Like it wasn't just a grappling match where Chiesa's sitting in Condit's guard the whole fight, you know. Condit has a very dangerous guard as well, to be fair. I mean, he had an armbar locked in the first round. Then Chiesa pulls out of it, manages to get free. He also had a leg lock. They were rolling around in leg locks for like the whole time. A heel hook, sorry. And Condit was rolling to get the extension. Chiesa very wisely rolling with the lock, making sure his knee doesn't get yanked out of place. I'm guessing he saw the BJ Penn fight backstage and thought, okay, I'm not going to let that happen to me. But yeah, it was a great fight. Great fight. I still don't respect Chiesa as a top 10, top 15 opponent. I think if he fights another person in the top 10, one that's been a bit more active and isn't on the downslide of their career, I think he gets dealt with. I mean, with striking like that, just don't even talk about it with some of the top guys of that division. Striking like that, Woodley's going to send you into orbit. Let's go down the list. Colby Covington's not going to let you take him down. Usman isn't going to let you take him down. And he's going to outstrike you. Same with Covington. Darren Till's going to fucking piece you up on the way in if you've got striking like that. And you won't get Darren Till down. The list goes on at the top is what I'm trying to say. Chiesa, he really needs to work on his striking because it's so lazy that he's so lucky he's a grappler. I know that sounds crazy because obviously his striking's not good if he's a grappler. But he doesn't, like, I know it's, people are going to say, oh yeah, you can say that, you don't even fight. But I can say that because I'm watching the guy fight compared to the best in the world. And his striking is shockingly terrible. I don't care what anyone says. You watch a Michael Chiesa fight when it's on the feet and tell me that his striking looks good. He has one goal. He's like the new Damian Maia, but a bit younger and a bit more willing to take a bit of damage. You know, he's a hungrier version of Damian Maia. All his shots are to set up takedowns. He tries to get you down. If he gets you down, he's going to do pretty good on top. He obviously finished the fight with like a weird submission. He was going for a Kimura, like the Americana. He ended up doing it with one hand and kind of using the floor to get some leverage on the arm, which was weird. And Carlos obviously tapped. His arm looked fucked up after this. So I won't be surprised if, you know, he can't wank for at least 2 weeks after this. Especially if he's a lefty. Yeah, rough times for Carlos Condit. That's 5 losses in a row for him. It's going to be pretty rough. 5 losses in a row. Do you remember that time a while ago that UFC said, if you lose 3 in a row, you're cut? Remember that? Remember the double standards of Dana White seem to be really coming through right now because Carlos Condit still isn't cut from the UFC and he's lost 5 in a row. I know they've been spaced out, but come on. That was Carlos's fight to win as well. He almost had the armbar sunk in. It just shows how skillful you have to be to. I think they're so underrated submissions in the UFC for a casual fan. Oh, he got caught in a submission off the ground. You know? I mean, Michael Chiesa's been training that same position of someone's got his arm, they've got their legs framed around him, yanking on his arm, and you see him, he does the little lock like this to sort of stop his arm being pried open. And I mean, he's been in that position so much in the training room. It really does show you how hard it is to get submissions, especially off of your back. And I think that was the problem with this fight. Carlos Condit, he was sort of like, oh, I've got a dangerous ground game off my back, but he was too okay to be taken down. Like, he took down, and then it was like, oh, that's okay. I'll just throw submissions off my back. But Michael Chiesa's jiu-jitsu, I may bash his striking and say his striking is terrible, but his jiu-jitsu in the UFC is very high level. I mean, black belt level MMA jiu-jitsu. Even though I don't think he's a black belt, in terms of MMA jiu-jitsu, his ground game, he could compete with black belts, is what I'm trying to say to you. I don't know what happens to Michael Chiesa next. I think a safe fight for him, crazy as it sounds, guys, a good fight, because you don't want two of these, you don't, like, maybe Damian Maia would be a good fight for him, you know. Damian Maia's probably his last fight of his career. That'd be a good fight for him. Him and Damian Maia. I'd like that. Or, I don't want to see him versus any of the top 8, because he'll get murked, but he'll get absolutely ruined by anyone in the top 8. To be honest, he'll get ruined with anyone with some kind of striking game. I don't know who he's going to fight next. Maybe the Jorge Masvidal rematch, because if you remember, Jorge Masvidal submitted him a very, very long time ago at lightweight by a Darce choke, I believe. I'm having images of my mind right now of Jorge Masvidal submitting Michael Chiesa by a Darce choke. And I have another image of my mind of Michael Chiesa knocking down Jorge Masvidal, and then Masvidal immediately recovering and getting back to his feet and then locking in his submission. But yeah, that'd be a good rematch. I wouldn't pay, because I don't pay for any UFC events, but I'd like to see that fight. That'd be great. It was a good fight overall, though. It's good to see a grappling fight entertain the crowd now and again. I think that's what we're getting nowadays. Before, I bet you I bet you in the early days of the UFC, if that fight was happening, the crowd would be like, woo, woo, you know, that Ric Flair shit that they do in the crowd, booing, all this. But people are starting to appreciate the grappling side of MMA a bit more now, I think. You know, like they're cheering when Carlos Condit gets a hip escape, you know? Stuff like that. I like that. I really do like that. Shows that the UFC is doing the right thing. Or not the UFC, but just the crowd and the fans in general are getting a lot more knowledgeable of the sport. So yeah, good fight. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching the videos. It's going to be a tough time in January because there's only one fight, so there's not a lot of content. But I will try my best to post the videos every single day. And I'm going to post a video every single day. Even if it's a video of me taking a shit. That's how desperate I'll be to get videos out every day. If I can't think of a video, I'm literally going to take a shit and film it. So yeah, like and subscribe, guys. See you later. Thanks for watching.